Did you know that wholesaling and flipping houses is not the only way to flip real estate? There's actually another flipping technique that hardly anyone knows about that is a huge opportunity in today's market, and it's right under your nose, and it's something you can learn how to do right now. On today's video, I'm gonna break down and show you how to flip real estate notes. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you're gonna love this video because I'm gonna give you one more powerful way to profit from flipping real estate. Coming up.
This video is brought to you by Flipster, the nation's largest property database, including houses on the MLS and off-market leads, like pre-foreclosures and vacant homes. To find your next wholesale or fix and flip deal, start your free trial today at joinflipster.com.
If you're new here, my name is Jerry Norton. I make millions of dollars a year flipping real estate, and here on my YouTube channel, I show you how to do the same. So if you want to be a flipping genius like me and live your dream life, subscribe to my channel and watch my videos. First of all, let me discuss what a real estate note is and how it's different from the actual property. When a homeowner wants to purchase a home but doesn't have the cash for the full purchase price, he or she will typically get a loan to buy the home from a traditional or conventional lender like Wells Fargo or Bank of America. In order to get a traditional bank loan, the borrower has to qualify by having a good credit score, good credit history, good job history, a down payment, and so on. If the borrower can't qualify for a traditional loan, he or she could get an unconventional loan from a private investor known as a private party loan. Now, the private investor could even be the seller of the property, which is referred to as seller financing or owner financing. Private financing and seller financing are very common strategies used by investors that has been around for a long time. However, most people have no idea just how big the private loan industry is. Did you know that over $50 billion in residential private party loans are created annually? And that number is only going up in coming years. Here's why. Currently, over 50% of Americans are unable to qualify for a traditional bank loan. Check out this chart. The Mortgage Bankers Association tracks the Mortgage Credit Availability Index, and this chart shows mortgage availability to be at all-time lows. Now, this is due in part to more restrictive underwriting along with the impact of higher interest rates. That means demand for private party loans is going to continue going up. As a result, many private investors are willing to provide loans to these types of buyers who can't qualify for traditional loans. In a minute, I'm going to show you a massive opportunity to make money flipping private notes, so keep watching. But first, let's briefly discuss how to structure a private or seller finance loan so you understand how it works. When a private loan is created, there are two critical documents that are created. First is the promissory note. This document is a promise to pay from the borrower to the lender. It dictates all of the terms of the loan, such as due date, interest rate, etc. The other important document is the mortgage or deed of trust, depending on which state you're in. Now, this is important. The mortgage or deed of trust is what pledges the property as collateral or security for the loan. It has one primary purpose: to securitize the loan with the asset. That is very significant, and this is one of the defining factors that makes real estate investing such a good investment. In the event of a default on the loan from the borrower, the lender can seize the property via foreclosure and take the property as a means to repay the loan. Do you realize how important this is? Having security is what makes lending in real estate so attractive to investors. One of the reasons why so much money pours into real estate is because an investor can protect his or her investment with a mortgage or deed of trust. That is huge. Now, the private loan industry is often referred to as the notes industry, and an investor who is a private lender is referred to as a note holder. And these private loans are often called the paper to differentiate the loan from the actual property. And this is where things get really interesting, so follow along closely with me. Once a privately held loan is created, that paper is now a cash flowing asset. Notice I said the paper, not the property. This is a very important distinction. Let me explain. The loan or paper has a principal balance that is to be paid back over a specified time from the borrower with interest, making it a cash flowing asset. Why is that so important? Because any cash flowing asset can be traded. In other words, there is a niche investment strategy to buy and sell real estate paper or notes. If a note holder no longer wants to receive cash flow for the loan, he or she can sell the paper to a new investor called a note buyer who will pay cash to buy the paper or loan from the private note holder. Once purchased, the note buyer becomes the new note holder and begins collecting payments from the borrower. For example, let's say a note holder creates a loan for $200,000 at 8% interest, but decides that rather than receiving 8% interest each month from the borrower, he would rather have cash for another investment or maybe due to a financial hardship or for whatever reason, and is willing to sell that paper at a discount for, let's say, $170,000 to a note buyer. So the note buyer pays $170,000 cash for a loan with a balance of $200,000. The borrower continues paying 8% and the principal balance is still $200,000, so the note buyer gets $30,000 in instant equity along with picking up the new monthly cash flow. So you might be wondering, why would a note holder sell their paper at a discount? The answer is simple and really no different than why a motivated seller would sell a property at a discount. He or she wants the speed and convenience of cash today instead of cash flow over time. And here's the part that I've been dying to get to. Whenever there's an opportunity to buy and sell something, especially real estate, there's an opportunity to make money flipping. And privately held notes is no different. Think about it. If you have a motivated note holder willing to sell his or her note for cash at a discount, and there is a note investor who has the cash to buy the note, there's an opportunity to bridge those two parties together and get paid for doing so. We call this note flipping. When it comes to flipping notes, there are two different methods. Method number one is following the traditional model of wholesaling, where you execute a contract to buy a note from a note holder at a discount and then assign your contract to a note buyer for a fee. Method two, which is my preferred method, is to bird dog note deals. Here's how it works and why I prefer it. Rather than following traditional wholesaling where you execute a contract to buy and then hope to find a note buyer during a small window of time, instead you get the note holder to agree in writing to pay a bird dog or referral fee if and when you bring a note buyer with an acceptable offer. Typical finder fees are 5 to 6% of the contract price. So for example, let's say a note holder agrees to pay you a 6% referral fee and you find an interested note buyer and the agreed upon price between the note holder and the note buyer is, let's say, $275,000. In that example, you would get paid $15,000 from the note holder for putting the deal together. Now, the reason why I like this bird dog method the most is because it doesn't obligate you to the note holder and it gives you time to find a buyer. So it's low pressure and low stress. One of the reasons why I love flipping notes so much is because most people don't know anything about it, so there's little competition. Unlike traditional real estate where everyone is fighting over deals, there is an unlimited supply of privately held notes that you can flip. The key is knowing where to find these note holders and having a strong network of note buyers to flip them to. And after years of doing note deals, I've developed a system that finds motivated note holders as well as how to tap into a nationwide network of note buyers and exactly how to structure the deals. And I've put together an entire kit of free resources to help you get your first note flipper deal. Now let me quickly run through what's in this kit and how you can get it for free. First is a digital copy of my best-selling book that walks you through the note flipping business from A to Z, including the top 19 ways to find note deals. Next is my virtual note flipper cheat sheet. Because flipping notes can be done virtually, you don't need to see the houses in person or meet anyone face to face. This cheat sheet reveals the top note flipping states so you know exactly which areas to target. Next is my direct mail templates. Now, direct mail is still one of the most effective ways to attract leads. And with this swipe file, you get my exact postcard and letter that have been proven to get note holders contacting you to flip their notes. Next is what I call my note referral engine. Now, real estate law firms structure note deals all over the country, so they are an excellent source for note holder leads. I've compiled a nationwide list of the top 10 law firms in each state for note referrals, plus their contact information and websites. Also included in my free note flipper kit is my note non-disclosure agreement. Now, this prevents note holders from going behind your back to note buyers, so your referral fee is protected. And finally, my word-for-word scripts are also included in my free note flipper kit. Now, these scripts tell you exactly what to say when talking to note holders so you can approach them with confidence. And like I said, I'll give you the entire kit for free. To get the download with all of these resources, go to noteflipperkit.com. I'll ask in return as you leave a comment and say, thank you, Jerry, for the free Note Flipper kit. You are a flipping genius. Now finally, if you are serious about going after flipping notes in a big way, watch this next video where I share my Note Flipper system and break down in detail how to find notes, submit them to my buyer network, and earn $15,000 per deal on average. It's literally flipping notes on steroids, so watch that now, and I'll see you on the next video.